So
Perfect.
the event is part of an initiative called Employ EFBC that we are undertaking with the Community Economic Development and Employability Corporation, which is CDEC. And it's a virtual talent matching event where we will be pairing skilled and experienced members of Quebec's English speaking Black community with employers needing to fill vacant positions in technology, finance, health, education, and the public administration sectors. We're doing this as a part of initiative to help reduce the unemployment of English speaking Black Quebecers here in Quebec. In 2016, we looked at the census data and we saw that for the English speaking Black community in particular, the unemployment rate was at 13.5%, while for the total population, it was at a 7.2%. Now with COVID, we know that that has been exacerbated because we know that English speaking Black individuals or Black individuals in particular are over represented in sectors that have been significantly or disproportionately impacted by the pandemic. And Statistics Canada, I believe, just started collecting race-based data with their recent labor force surveys. So we are able to kind of track how the unemployment situation is going for this community. And it's not a very promising situation. So this is one of the initiatives we're trying to have to kind of reduce that unemployment gap. And the Facebook Live is part of a series that we're having on diversity and inclusion, where we are highlighting companies and Black businesses to come on and speak to us about diversity and inclusion. And this is where the incident occurred.
So it was on Facebook or it was on Zoom, or I just wanted to
It was
clarify.
it was a Zoom call that was being broadcast via Facebook Live.
And that was when? It was, I read February 18th.
That is correct.
Okay. And Samantha, you were one of the organizers of this. You were the ones, helping out put together this meeting.
Yeah. So I was the one who was coordinating the event that was happening on February 18th, and like doing the tech support behind. And so we had the usual mechanisms in place that are recommended for this not to happen, such as having a wait room. Although we did have a wait room, the folks who came in had regular names, so it didn't look like it was bots or folks who were coming to cause a disruption. They had like Robert, so names that you would see regularly. So that's why we let them in the room. Yeah.
What happened? What went wrong from that point?
So we let them in, and then some of them started there was someone who came on with like a mask and started speaking what seems to be like Spanish, and then in the chat they started like commenting the N-word, and they were in there for like maybe a minute. Then we got them out, but it was enough time to cause a disruption, obviously. Yeah.
Did it cause harm, of course, to the event that you were trying to put on, but also the people who were watching? I mean, it is a devastation, it is a trauma, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So yeah, it is a very troubling and traumatic experience. And as we know, it happened to Wipka last December. And I don't know if to say fortunately or unfortunately, she was also the executive director, was also in the room when it happened. And she was like because she had that experience, she was able to talk the individuals who were in the room through this experience. It's a very traumatic and trying experience. I mean, here you are trying to highlight the English speaking Black community or the Black community during Black History Month, and people are targeting your events.
What exactly was the reaction from the attendees, or even from you and your colleagues?
So I think the attendees were surprised, even us, that it was happening at that moment. And then we were shocked. I was angry that it was happening. But again, as we said, this is supposed to just come in and cause a disruption to like make us stop whatever it is we're doing. But we were there for a reason. We're there to highlight Black organizations that are doing things in their communities, and so we're going to keep doing that no matter what happens. Yeah.
Does it hurt even more that it's Black History Month, that people are targeting you in a time when we should be celebrating the Black community? Well, how does that feel at this time?
It just it is Black History Month, but we exist as Black folks like all year round. And unfortunately, racism, microaggressions, these are things we have to navigate on a daily basis. So the fact that it happened during Black History Month is unfortunate, but it will just it happening in February would hurt the same as it happening in March, in June, and whatever month it is. So yeah, yeah.
Where do you go from here? What is the next step? Because I did read that you are filing police reports.
So we are,
Why is that
yeah,
important?
so we are currently in the process of filing a police report. We are also going to report the incident to Zoom. I'm not sure what mechanisms they have in place or to help address these type of situations because it has been occurring. So these are the steps we're trying to take, and I think it's important that we highlight it. It's not that we want to make these people famous, but we want to show what is happening. I mean, as Samantha says, whether it happens during Black History Month or some other time of the month, it is happening. And this is just a physical manifestation of some of the issues that Black people face during going through their routine day-to-day life.
Well, as you mentioned, it was December, and I remember that story clearly. At Wibka, the same thing happened, and so is this looking to you as a very dangerous and harmful pattern, or is that something that you have to be aware of in the future as you host these meetings?
It is a very dangerous and harmful patterns, and unfortunately, this is one of the things we are going to have to try to guard ourselves against in the future. It's not going to stop us from publicizing our events or anything. As Samantha says, we are here. We're here to stay, and we're going to highlight the issues in our community and try to find solutions to these problems. So it's not going to deter us, but it's also going to make us proceed with more caution. I'm not sure how much more caution we can proceed with because, as Samantha said, we had all the controls in place. But unfortunately, it's disappointing, but not surprising. As I said, Black people, people of color deal with these types of situations in their everyday life, and this is just one situation that we have on record that we can say, hey, this is what is happening to us.